welcome to another episode of Neptune Novelties. I'll be your host this evening or morning, whenever you're listening to this. And today we have kind of a new book because I never read things like that where the characters are doctors and colleagues. The name of the book is Yours Truly by Abby, and it's about Brianna, who is going through a divorce and a breakup after 12 years of being married. And she's only focusing on her job to pull away that focus from how messy her life is, how she doesn't like any other part of her life. And right in the moment, this main guy comes into their hospital. Well, she is really loved and everyone loves her and she's so cool. And she's looking for a promotion that she feels threatened by the new guy called Jacob. He's a new doctor. And she thinks he's going after her promotion, which later on we learn that that's not the case. And well, this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler because I'm gonna read a part of the book, which is towards the last chapters. So if you haven't started reading it already, or if you just started it, you might wanna skip like 3 minutes forward. The part says, "Dearest Brianna, I know you're scared. You have every right to be. But someday, decades from now, when our grandchildren are grown and our hair is gray, and we've spent a lifetime being harmless to each other, you're going to find this letter yellowed and wrinkled, forgotten in a shoebox. You'll read it and you'll remember how frightened and unsure you were once, how afraid you were to give yourself to someone, how hard it was to trust again. And you'll smile, because I'll be there, and we will stand, and we will still be in love. Yours truly, Jacob." So this was one of the letters that Jacob wrote. And more about Jacob is that he's literally perfect. He has anxiety and he finds journaling to be something that really helps him. Therefore, he journals whenever he doesn't feel good. And another spoiler is that they start writing letters to each other at first because Jacob's anxiety doesn't let him to really approach her the way that he does if he didn't have anxiety. And it kind of became a thing where Jacob wrote to her and then she wrote back. And I don't know, it was just so cute. And I think that really affected their relationship rather than just getting each other's number and just texting normally, because I don't know about you, but I find letters way more personal. And any of the week, I would absolutely prefer handwritten letters than just text. And another part that I want to read is that I had to let go of any grasp on my old life, on my old insecurities or fears or scars. I was going to miss out on the best thing that's ever happened to me, him. Maybe I wasn't ready. I might never truly be ready, but I was going to do it anyway. I was going to be brave. That's Brianna's reaction to the letter. And after that, another scene comes along where it's a conversation between Jacob and Brianna, where Jacob comes out of the surgery and this happens. I'll get the nurse to give you some morphine. I'm going to be 16 again, I said tiredly, passed out on Yager on a cornfield. She laughed and I put her chin on top of my head on the bed. You know, they almost didn't let me in here. They said I had to wait until you were awake and you could ask for me. They only let me in because you have me listed on your intake paper as your wife. I gave her a small, tired smile. I'm trying to manifest the things I want by speaking them into the universe. And you want a wife? Only if it's you. I'm open to discussion. And every time that I read that part, I giggle because he's just perfect. And lately, I feel like these new male characters, they aren't as, I don't know, gentle as some used to be. And honestly, I don't think Brianna deserves Jacob, because she gives him hell, and I feel bad for him. But you know, they both try, so I guess it's okay. I don't know. But I absolutely think that Jacob deserves way better than Brianna. But, you know, it's a story about how one person is really patient with the other because of how much love they have for that person. You know, Jacob really, really loves Brianna. And even the times that she doesn't feel like she's good enough, I think Jacob really plays a huge role in her gaining her confidence again. And, you know, Brianna, in a way, Brianna is really brave to try again with Jacob. But I think Jacob is so perfect that he could change anyone into being a better person without even trying to. But the dynamic is something really new to me because, like I said, I don't read doctor hospital based romances, but I'm really glad that I read this one. And I was kind of scared to not like it because I heard so many good things about it, and you know, it's kind of a bummer when the reputation of something is better than its real self. So I'm glad that it wasn't. And I read this so fast, way faster than I thought I would. And again, I loved it way faster. Way more than I thought that I would. I'm not sure if, I think the chances of me rereading this is kind of high, but like, I think like 70%. And, you know, I think this is the kind of a book that you don't really need a special occasion to reread it. Well, unless if you relate to some stuff in the book, like there are some trigger warnings that I think you should check before reading it. And I think the most normal think that you could relate to is the insecurities. And if you have anxiety, there's that. And if you are going through a breakup. But other than that, I don't think there is any special occasion to reread it, which makes it easy to reread, but I don't know. It's not like a Christmas romance that you would want to read it during Christmas, but in general, I think it was a really beautiful book, and I think Abby has done a great job. And I really enjoy this book, way more than I thought, which is a great compliment. And I think that's all that I have to say for this episode and this book. If you are a writer, you can contact me and suggest your book. And if you have any other suggestions for me to talk about other books, again, feel free to contact me through email. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And this couple of moments, they made you put everything aside and just focus on the beauty of love and books. And I hope you just relaxed for a bit, because it can do wonders. So that's all. I'll see you again in laters.